All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big one. The United States government has actually cut off water via federal water supplies to farms in Washington. This should have hit every single news agency and every single person who has a camera should be probably nearly on site of these facilities protesting the hell out of this. Now, what this actually says, ladies and gentlemen, is the United States government has cut off federal water supply to Washington farms. Now, you know it as well as I do. If they cut off supply of water, folks, it isn't just to one group of situations or another. It's to everybody in that community, right? Okay. That means people do not get their water for their food. They cannot grow their crops. They cannot produce next year's harvest or next season's harvest. Okay? As long as we're clear on that, folks, I'm going to continue with this. I apologize for being rude. I'm never rude, at least nearly never rude on this. But I'm trying to give you the unbiased opinion as to what is actually going on here. That was my kitty. He jumped onto the counter where my laptop is. All right, so this is what the official wording is. And we know how well the official wording is and what it's worth. But I'll reiterate one more time. If you cut off water to a community, especially to an industry like a rural industry for farms, and you cut that water supply off, that water does not go to any of the area, any of the farms. All right, here it is. KPQ.com. U.S. government turns off federal water supply to Washington pot farms. Now, they're going to say pot farms, but I guarantee you the real situation is much deeper than that. I don't know how the hell you would turn off water supply to one group of farms in one community, but not a whole list of others, especially from a federal water supply. I mean, I can understand them going onto the property and turning off the units that are near the houses. All right? But this basically says that they turned off the main water system going to this community. So this has a lot more to do with the farms and the harvests and a hell of a lot less to do with the actual farm and the farm types. So this is what's really going on, folks. Pay attention. Don't let a couple words trip you up. The United States government has notified Chelan County for the use of federally contracted water to cultivate marijuana is illegal. The United States Department of Interior has issued a letter to county's Department of Community Development via the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation and says it cannot allow the use of water and or its facilities in the production of marijuana because the drug use is still illegal under federal law. Chelan County Commissioners Ron Walter, Keith Gowen, Doug England discussed the letter with News Radio 560 KPO Steve Hare. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if they cut off federal water supply to a community, especially an entire county, at best, the water pressure goes down and the amount in that community is lessened. That means the people who are doing almost nothing, that are growing your potatoes, your corn, your lettuce, and everything else you love, folks, now have less water because the government claims they are trying to target pot farmers in the area. Now, I'd like to basically tell you that's probably a whole bunch of bullshit. The United States government has cut off water supply to Washington farms. That means the harvests are now delayed. They will probably have less water to actually use on their farms, which means there'll be less crops and less reasonable crops. And everything down the hill goes from there, folks. The United States government is going to say it's trying to target marijuana farms in the area. Fact of the matter is, the United States government has turned off water supply to Washington farms. I don't know exactly how interconnected everything is, but I guarantee you that next season's harvest is of the regular farms, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be hindered by this, and I guarantee you this was meant to be by the U.S. government's dictation that there were marijuana fields or marijuana farms in the area, and that basically it is still illegal under federal law to grow that sort of crop, even though it is legal under state law. Why all of a sudden are they doing this? Because they know shit is going to hit the fan soon, and they're trying to cut back on water on farms so that the ordinary people can starve to death when the next season's harvest cannot come to pass. This is just another bureaucratic junction that they're going to use to try to stop farmers from producing more food than they need to feed the community and the county and give that food to the rest of the state and hopefully the rest of the country. Thank you.